I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video, we're going to have a look at the Sandbox, one of the biggest metaverse style play to earn additions, big expansion. What's the review for 2023, specifically in regards to the price movement? So when we're going to look at the Sandbox, rank 44 on CoinMarketCap, one of the earliest metaverse style experiences, reaching an all-time high of an astonishing, $7.50 down in the bear market to 80 cents. Big opportunity, 50% of the total circulating supply available on the market. $533 million in volume in the last 24 hours, which is even down 43%. So this is a very important indicator for the price movement that we're going to look at today. 2.5 billion fully diluted, absolutely insane. $1.2 billion in current market cap. You can imagine at all-time high, this was about 24 billion fully diluted, absolutely massive. Insane run up, of course, during that crypto gaming bull run. Now it has come down. Where are the opportunities? So first, we're going to have a look at their socials relative to the activity on, for example, the marketplace. I opened up some assets here just to have a general scope of actually why the fully diluted cap and the current market cap is even that high. Then we're going to look into track digits for the price movement. Insane valuable indicators right here. Very surprising because this is not the price movement that you might expect. And that's obviously why the tool is so insightful. We're going to have a look at the NFT marketplace. There are a lot of other assets in terms of creating, earning, community, but that's not all as relevant to the actual price backing. I think the creation of user assets, as that's the primary focus of Sandbox, user generated content, and specifically here, the collections, the transaction volume, the actual experience of the Sandbox is obviously one of the highest ranked ones. But in addition, creator earnings based on their created content, I think is extremely relevant as well. So here there are some land and estates for sale, 1,500. Then new assets, 120,000 almost, where there's a lot of user-generated content here. Then you have avatars, and then you have collections. So a lot of them are by Sandbox or big brands like Spinning Records. But I like to have a look at like independent creators. Some of these might be big influencers that I don't know, but let's have a quick look at these avatars and what it actually looked like if you haven't explored it before. So these have 500 NFTs. And you can basically have a look, and then once you open them, it goes on chain, right? But if you go back to the actual collection overview, I had the Playboy open before. Let's open the one from Spinning Records, because I was actually looking for the quantities, and you can see that there's quantities available. These aren't as expensive because obviously they're in-game assets, but for in-game assets, they are quite pricey, $100, $50, $5, and you can see they're selling quite well. Obviously this is Spinning Records, but it's the same for all of these collections. These are the main featured ones. There are 125 in total. I think it's extremely interesting that there's I don't even want to say decent, I don't want to say very good volume on these collections. Of course, one of the underlying assets here is the Sandbox land, which is basically in regards to the overall valuation, a very big component. They raised a lot of money with these land sales. Let me see where it actually is. Sandbox land. Usually it's always somewhere in the top 20 because of the amount that it's being traded, but I don't see it that quickly right here. So it must be pushed down to the bottom a little bit, where still significant volumes are being traded, but here we have the criteria land Sandbox. Here we go. So there's almost 114,000 assets available. That's not even fully diluted yet. So there's still supply available. There's 166,000 lands, but with a floor price of 0.9 ETH, current price then it's 1,400. You can imagine timing that to the supply is absolutely massive, and obviously that token value has a resemblance in terms of the market cap of a company, of a token, here with the utility of the land, and the land specifically. Although it's still early days for the Sandbox, they have been pioneering, 1 million followers on Twitter, and relatively good engagement for that 1 million followers, right? Obviously, as big of a company, they tweet quite a lot, very much engaged, very professional, definitely one of the enterprise style projects in the market. But what we really want to know, because all the research and stuff is cool, just some arguments why the price is as it is. Obviously, the bearish market has brought the price down, liquidity has left the market, but what is the opportunity? The interesting component here is that the decentralized exchange volume is 2.5 million. 545 million comes from centralized exchanges. That obviously takes into consideration that you have the opportunity to long and short this token based on the price movement that would become available potentially. Now we need to look at some indicators because it is very much fixed, right? You can imagine between all these big exchanges, we got Binance, KuCoin, Coinbase, Kraken, all of the tier 1 exchanges are basically almost listed, which makes it interesting because there will be a significant amount of arbitrage. You can see all these prices are almost relatively the same. Majority of the volume, Binance, 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 Binance. This is 9 million. This is over 100 million, 109 million out of the 533 million comes from Binance, right? And I'm not sure if Binance US is even here. That's significantly less volume, but it's absolutely massive. Binance here again, Binance here again. These are all different pairings. So definitely significant trade volume. And when we go into track digits, if you want to utilize this tool, there's a free link in the description to sign up currently during the alpha stage. One of the vestings is going to happen in 5 days, and then basically every single month thereafter, as you can see. Although the investment is significant, you can see there's a 22,000% ROI in the seed and almost 16,000% on strategic. However, although $11 million are being released from seed and 2.6 million are being released, so a total of $25 million in combining the team and advisory as well into these investment rounds are going to be released onto the market. We would say that such a significant amount of money, the price would definitely go down because it's a significant supply shock. Some of the smaller projects, you know, the other crypto gaming projects that I've reviewed on this channel before, would basically see a 20, 30, 40% loss of the token value with this kind of volume entering the market. Again, I said these are all indicators. Why? Because that circulating supply and the tradable volume is extremely important here. Let me just fold this back. So the circulating supply, the amount of tokens is basically fixed for all next releases. So it's all the same categories as you can see over the next 4 months. What is important here is that the value, every time it's the same, the value will change obviously on the token price, but it's only 2% of the supply that will enter the market. 2% still quite significant, but relative to the daily trading volume, it's only 3% of the daily trading volume. So a supply shock is not going to happen. There are so many tokens being bought and sold on a daily basis that 3% will just be absorbed into the tradable volume. What I can read from this data, right? If this would be 30%, yeah, there will be some price impact. If it would be 80%, it basically means it's almost guaranteed, in my opinion, that the price would move down and you have a good opportunity here. At the moment, there's basically no risk, in my opinion. Looking at this data, the supply shock will not be significant, not much will happen. We are basically right here on the movement, right? So we're almost in March, right? Middle of February-ish, where you can see that the dilution is not significant, right? It's really slow. The majority has already happened in 2020. This is what you get with early projects. When we look at the price movement when vesting happens, we can basically see after vesting is released, price goes up, right? Which is a very weird indicator. To take into consideration, we only tracked the last 3 vestings because, of course, the Track Digits platform is quite new, but there are no significant patterns here in terms of volatility. On the release, this was 6.2. These tokens have been sold, but here there were significant buys, so it's averaged out obviously over that period. When we look at the vesting, there's a 12-month cliff, 3-year vesting on seed. The next unlock happens here, so there still will be on seed and strategic quite a long vesting. All of the launchpad tokens were 100% TGE, Foundation 100% TGE. That has already entered the market. That's also the reason that we're seeing such a high circulating supply on such a massive project. That's why the market cap relative to the fully diluted market cap is exactly half, because 50%, right? So the indicators for the Sandbox are looking extremely healthy. For the review, Yes, they're doing really well on the development. Yes, they have established themselves as a proper presence in the market. They have a strong NFT collection and a wide variety of major partnerships and opportunities. The team is very go-to-market orientated. They do a lot of collaborations, a lot of conferences, a lot of seminars. So that is all looking really good. In terms of the gameplay, I can't really judge it because I'm not a gamer, but yeah, it's just a crypto Web3 Minecraft experience with user-generated content. That's how I would explain it. Now, the most important thing here, where does this price move, right? If there would be some form of a price estimation, I would say this is one of a more easy one to bring up to all-time high on the next crypto gaming bull run, $7. Do take into consideration that's like a 9x, right? 9x is still significant for a big player, definitely. Is it going to be in a risk portfolio? If you're looking for 100x, you might want to look for tokens with a smaller market cap. The circulating supply here is a good indicator that there's not that much pressure on the token, specifically with this type of volume. What I do think that is important to consider overall for this token is that it could be, let's say, a less risk token in your asset portfolio, where you maybe only focus on crypto gaming. You have 5 less risk, let's say Sandbox, ApeCoin, Decentraland, something like this. And then you have the rest with our smaller caps, micro caps, where there's a lot more degen risk if these products are actually going to survive the bear market. So yeah, I would say safer bet. Investment always carries risk for the next crypto gaming bull run. Strong positioning, not something on my personal radar because I am prone to a little bit more risk, right? And I also have already identified my less risk options, like for example ApeCoin and Illuvium. Sandbox doesn't really appeal to me because I don't think there would be massive growth beyond the assets they've already deployed. So unless they do something new, I don't really have a good personal connection with the project. I mean, it's nice, I like to watch it, but it's not one of my favorites. So that's basically my full review. The price movement measured through track digits, very good indicator. A lot of money is going to enter that market, but it's going to do very little. If you have any questions on this, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.